Okay, we are live on Media Day for a press conference with Suncoast. And Coach, if you can give us your name, maybe a little bit of background about your assistant coaches and yourself.
My name is Duke Thrush. I'm the head coach at Suncoast. My two assistants are Justin Evans and Sam Brodner. They're currently rehabbing in the Marlins organization from Tommy John surgery. So what they do is they rehab till 2 o'clock with the Marlins, and then they come help us out at Suncoast.
And you're a new coach, so maybe you can tell us a little about what you've done in prior seasons and give us an idea.
I've been a travel coach for many years. I currently own an indoor batting facility in Riviera Beach, right next door to our school, about 2 miles away from the school. And I have a son going to the school, so the job opened up this past season, and I interviewed and got the job, and I get to coach these wonderful kids.
What kind of team do you usually like to build? Like what is it that you want to see on the field from your team?
I want to see aggressive play. I want to see people swinging at first pitch strikes. I want to see them taking extra bases. I want to see them making the right decisions on the field.
And so far, going through the fall season, have you seen the pieces of that puzzle here at Suncoast?
Well, I started in the spring. So we had our first inter-squad game on Friday night, and I saw a lot of great things from the boys. I'm really looking forward to the challenge of competing this year in the spring.
More so than other schools, these players have a huge amount of workload in school, and needing to handle and learning that balance. Do you find that may be a positive or a negative? Does it help make better baseball players? How do you see that in the mix of building this baseball team?
Well, I think there's advantages and disadvantages. I think having smarter kids in general is an advantage. I also think there's disadvantages because, I have 34 kids come to the tryout where the other local schools have 75 or 80 kids. So we don't have as big a pool to pick from. But I'm really excited about the kids that we have, and the 8 returning seniors that we have, and the upcoming juniors. I think we're going to surprise some people this year.
And talking about seniors, you have some players with you here today, and we can ask them a few questions as well. So for the players coming back as seniors, how has that been different for you guys going through the off season as compared to seasons past? Are you guys more involved in the mentoring process, or is there anything different that you guys did this off season?
Well, I think definitely throughout the years, we've both been involved with varsity baseball since our sophomore years. So it's kind of like growing from that stage when you're the young people in, and you learn from the seniors, and you learn kind of what they have to show and what they've learned at core, and those values that have been instilled to them with their coaches. So now kind of understanding, how the process works and really what to expect. That's the biggest thing, letting the young guys know what to expect coming up and how they can not prepare, because their experience is all going to be different, and especially with new coaching staff here, it's going to be different, it's going to change, and it's going to change them, but hopefully they can take every blow and work for the good, and we're here to mentor, and that's our goal.
Well, talk about that also. You talk about the new coaching staff. How has that been, getting used to the new coaching staff? How have you guys gelled together?
I think Coach Duke here coming in the spring, it was, we had to learn quick, but I think it was definitely, it was a smooth transition, I think, and generally our senior class, I think we're a calmer group. We're a group we're generally open to change, and I think if we're willing to work with Coach Duke here, and we definitely are, and the younger guys are following our lead, we're really taking steps to open up the change and to accept that it's going to be beneficial for our program here.
And how has it been for you coming back as a senior?
Just like Matt said over here, it's all about learning from freshman to maybe even junior year, and that's where you begin to take your leadership role and show the younger kids what's right and what's wrong, because what the older guys have taught you, along with learning and showing what you learn, I feel as this as this year is going to be like your last chance for everything. So what you want to do is everything your best. Just all these 3 years of working, just show it all now.
Have you seen anything different with this new coaching staff that maybe from seasons past?
Yes, it's a lot calmer, I would say, this year than other years. We work more on fundamentals and what to do on the field, and I just feel that's going to make us better.
So, Coach, with any time take over a new program, the first thing you want to do is build your culture and get your identity. And what is it that you see the identity of this team being? And then a second part to that question is, do you feel like what you want is already there, or are you going to have to adjust to the players that are there already?
Well, there's always some adjustment to new players and new kids, and I want them to take their roles as leaders, and I let them take the roles in warm-ups and stretching, and the kids basically taking the lead on that. And I really want them to understand that it's their team. But what they're going to understand is that I have expectations of how we're going to do and how we're going to finish the season. And I think that as a coach, one of my best attributes is knowing my players and motivating my players to want to succeed and putting them in positions to succeed. So I think once that happens and once they start to succeed, they're going to understand what they need to do on a daily basis. And I'm really proud of what the kids have done in the month that I've been here, and I'm super excited to see them. I can already see, because I've been watching the team for the last few years, and I've been able to see some of the flaws and some of the things we need to work on. And so I think that was beneficial to me, because as a new coach, I'm not just coming in blind. I've been watching the kids for 2 years, the varsity kids, the JV kids, and I pretty much knew what I had when I took over the job. So it was a little bit of a help there.
Well, what kind of team is this? Is this going to be a team that hits for power? Is it going to be a team with speed? Is it going to be built on pitching and defense? What's the personality of this team?
The personality of the team, of course, it's going to start with pitching. It's going to start with our pitching. We have 11 guys capable of pitching out of our 15-man roster.
Quite a deep staff.
So we're very deep. We're very deep staff. We've got, while I say we have a smaller group to pick from, and we do, the 9 kids that I'm going to put on the field are going to compete with anybody in the district, and I guarantee you that. And they're going to know it from day one, and they're going to go out there and they're going to get it done. I'm really excited to see.
Well, what are your expectations? Speaking of that,
my expectations are to let's see, win 15 of our 25 regular season games and go deep into the districts and see what happens. I mean, we've got the pitching to go. We'll go as far as our pitching takes us. Let's put it that way.
Well, what are the keys, though? Because you said you've seen this team. You know,
Yeah.
You know what this team looks like. So it's not necessarily a new team to you. But what are the keys for this team to be able to get to 15 wins, to be able to go deep into the districts, to be able to accomplish those goals?
Okay, some of the things that I saw over the last 2 years was that they make fatal mistakes at the wrong times. Okay, there'll be a bunt and they'll throw it into right field and 2 runs will score. Instead of having an out and 1 guy on, there'll be 2 runs in and a guy on third base. Those kind of things we're not gonna accept those kind of things this year, and I think the kids know that, and I think they're starting to pick up on it. I think that we weren't able to get guys in from third with less than 2 outs. I can't tell you how important that is, to have productive outs. Okay, you're going to get your hits, you're going to make outs. If we can have more productive outs this year, we're going to increase our win total by 5 or 6. Move the guys over, get them in. Okay, I know we're going to have great pitching. I already know that. These 2 guys here right now are going to be studs, and we've got a bunch more behind them. So, if we can, like I said, get the runners in from third with less than 2 outs, move guys along, and not make the critical errors. Okay, there's always going to be physical errors out on the field, and I can live with that. But when we hold the ball in the outfield and we throw it to the wrong base, we're going to clean up all that kind of stuff that I saw over the last 2 years, maybe that held this team back a little bit.
You're expecting to win 2/3 of your games this season, so obviously you have some built-in expectations coming into your first season. What is it that you see in terms of like your coaching style that's going to help lead towards that? Are you going to try and play some small ball? Are you know, what is it that you're going to do as a coach to get there?
Personally, I believe that there's a place and a time for small ball, and we will work on that and we'll do it. But I think that if they're aggressive with the bats and they take extra bases, the runs will come, and if we can make the plays we're supposed to make, I think that there's enough talent on this team to win 2/3 of our games.
So you don't really want to overcoach the team then. You're
No.
looking to really not mess it up, is what it sounds like.
Well, of course, I don't want to say anything about the prior administration. I think that Louis did a great job with the kids, but I don't think that they did everything in their power to win baseball games. I think it was more of a little bit more of sort of satisfying people that were around the organization, family, friends, parents, whereas I'm going to do what it takes to win the ball game.
Are there any games in particular that players are looking forward to that you guys have circled on the schedule? I know you have your manager here, Bryn, with you too. Any games in particular that you guys are looking forward to?
I'll let the kids answer this one.
You want to take that, Bryn?
I'm definitely excited to play Port St. Lucie. It's a big rivalry, so I'm looking forward to that.
What about Port St. Lucie are you looking forward to?
They're in our district, so it's always good to beat them. I think the boys can agree with me.
That for sure.
Yeah.
Is there a little bit of angst there? Is a little bit of
A little would be an
trash
understatement,
talking?
yeah.
A little,
There's a lot.
and for you guys?
Well, I feel that Port St. Lucie definitely must win for this year. And then another game I'm looking forward to going into is Palm Beach Central, because I played there my freshman year and transferred into Suncoast, and just beating them in my senior year, that would be amazing.
I think for me, a big game is Jupiter. That's definitely one of our. We play them every year, and we play twice every year.
Tough team.
Yep,
Yes.
they're a really tough team, and I played Jupiter travel ball, so I know a lot of those guys throughout the years, and it's always a fun one. Some of the most memorable games are against Jupiter. My freshman year was a walk-off win against Jupiter, which was kind of a breakthrough for our program, and that's definitely one I look forward to. So.
And I would say Jupiter, Palm Beach Gardens, and Dwyer for me, because I grew up with most of these kids playing in travel ball. I know everybody on all of the teams, you know, basically on the travel teams and on the local rec organizations, you're playing with, you know, all the kids at different age groups for those. So the local teams, I think, while they say Port St. Lucie and Palm Beach Central, I'm interested in beating the local teams as well.
And how has your experience been here, HSBN Media Day today?
It's been great. You guys have been awesome, and I think we got a lot out of it. What do you think, boys?
How'd the guys do?
And girls?
We did all right.
Did okay?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah?
Got
Got any plans for spring break this season?
We got 2 games over spring break.
At home, or are you traveling?
We're not allowed to play at home, I found out, even though one of our games was at home. We play Oxbridge, a couple of private schools.
Benjamin?
Oxbridge and
Benjamin,
Benjamin,
yep.
who are local teams around us,
Two tough
and
games.
yeah, it should be exciting.
Well, I think it will be, Coach, and we're looking forward to seeing it. And we want to thank you guys for coming in today, and really appreciate you taking time with us.
Thank
Thank
you.
yeah, for sure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck this season.